My friends, life gives us two choices: risk or regret. Every day we stand at a crossroads. One path is lined with risk, the challenge of stepping into the unknown, the discomfort of growth, and the uncertainty of success. The other path is paved with regret, the pain of what could have been, the weight of missed opportunities, and the sorrow of playing it safe. The greatest gamble in life is not trying at all. Every dream, every goal, every aspiration you have ever had is sitting on the other side of action. Yet for many, the fear of failure keeps them frozen. They hesitate, they overthink, and they delay, hoping for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect sign. But life doesn't wait. The clock keeps ticking, and the opportunities that once seemed abundant start slipping away. The real failure is not in falling short. It's in never starting. Because when you don't try, you don't just avoid failure, you also avoid success. There will always be reasons not to take a chance. There will always be doubts whispering in your ear, reminding you of the risks, pointing out the obstacles, and convincing you that it might not work. But what if it does? What if this is the moment that changes everything? You see, failure is a temporary setback, a lesson, a stepping stone, but regret is a permanent scar. It lingers in your mind, replaying what could have been. It keeps you up at night, making you wonder about the possibilities you never explored. And the worst part, there's no going back. Think about a time when you hesitated, when you let an opportunity pass by because you were afraid of the unknown. Maybe it was a business idea you never pursued, a relationship you never fought for, or a passion you never fully embraced. At that moment, you convinced yourself it was the safer choice, the smarter decision. But as time passed, that safe choice turned into an ache. A quiet but persistent feeling that you let yourself down, because deep down you know you were capable of more. Those who dare to try, even when they are scared, even when they are uncertain, are the ones who discover their true potential. They understand that every great achievement was once a risk. The world's most successful people are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who refused to let failure define them. They tried, they stumbled, they got up, and they tried again. They understood that the cost of trying and failing is nothing compared to the cost of wondering what might have been. Regret is not something that shows up immediately. It sneaks in slowly, years later, when you look back and realize the chances you ignored, the ideas you let die, the courage you never mustered. It's a slow realization that you settled for less than what you were capable of, not because you weren't good enough, but because you didn't believe in yourself enough to take the leap. And by the time you recognize it, the window of opportunity may have closed. So if you're standing at a crossroads, unsure of whether to take the risk, ask yourself this: 5 years from now, will you be proud that you tried, or will you be haunted by the thought of what could have been? Because trying might lead to failure, but never trying will lead to regret, and regret lasts a lifetime. Growth is never found in comfort. It is found in uncertainty, in challenge, in the willingness to step beyond what is familiar and into what is unknown. The reason so many people remain stagnant is not because they lack potential, talent, or intelligence. It's because they are unwilling to embrace the risk that comes with growth. They want change, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They want success, but they fear the struggle that precedes it. And so they remain in the same place, year after year, wondering why nothing ever changes. But real growth demands that you push past fear, that you take bold action even when you don't feel ready, because the truth is, you will never feel completely ready. No one does. Every successful person, every leader, every innovator who has ever achieved something great started before they were fully prepared. They took a step into the unknown, knowing they might stumble, knowing they might fail, but understanding that standing still was the only real failure. Growth isn't found in playing it safe. It is found in the willingness to bet on yourself, even when the odds seem uncertain. The risk of growth is not just external, it is internal. It requires that you let go of limiting beliefs, outdated habits, and the version of yourself that no longer serves you. It forces you to confront your doubts, your weaknesses, and the voice in your head that tells you you're not capable. That voice will try to convince you that staying where you are is the best option, that the risks of trying something new are too great. But that voice is lying, because the greatest risk of all is looking back on your life and realizing you never became the person you were meant to be. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every moment of personal or professional success comes from stepping beyond the familiar. It's about saying yes to opportunities that scare you, about putting yourself in situations where you might fail, about choosing to learn and grow rather than staying comfortable. The road to success is not paved with certainty. It is paved with risk, with trial and error, with moments of doubt followed by moments of clarity. And if you are unwilling to take those risks, you are also unwilling to reap the rewards. Look at the people who have achieved great things. They weren't the ones who avoided risk. They were the ones who embraced it. They understood that failure is not the enemy, stagnation is. They knew that every risk taken, every lesson learned, every challenge faced brought them closer to their goals. The discomfort of growth is temporary, but the regret of not growing lasts forever. So if you are waiting for the perfect time, if you are waiting for a guarantee that you won't fail, understand this: the only guarantee in life is that if you don't take risks, you will never grow. Most people spend their lives chasing security. They want a steady paycheck, a predictable routine, and a future that feels guaranteed. They seek stability in their careers, their finances, and their relationships, believing that if they can just control enough variables, they can create a life free of uncertainty. But the hard truth is this: security is an illusion. No job is truly safe, no economy is completely stable, and no plan is foolproof. The world is constantly changing, and those who cling to the illusion of security often find themselves unprepared when change inevitably arrives. The very thing people rely on for safety can become the source of their greatest vulnerability. A secure job can disappear overnight. A stable business can become obsolete in a matter of years. A safe life, one built on playing small and avoiding risks, can lead to deep regret. The truth is, there is no such thing as complete security, only the illusion of it. And when people build their lives around that illusion, they set themselves up for disappointment. They make decisions based on fear rather than growth, and they trade potential for comfort. Real security doesn't come from avoiding risk. It comes from developing the ability to adapt. The most successful people in the world are not those who seek security, but those who build resilience. They understand that the only way to stay ahead in life is to keep growing, keep learning, and keep evolving. They don't rely on a company, a government, or an external circumstance to protect them. Instead, they develop skills, habits, and mindsets that allow them to thrive no matter what happens. Most people believe that taking risks is dangerous. But what's more dangerous? Taking a risk that could lead to success, or staying in a situation that guarantees mediocrity? The reality is, the longer you cling to the illusion of security, the harder it is to break free from it. People get comfortable, and comfort leads to complacency. They stop growing, stop challenging themselves, and stop striving for more because they believe they are safe where they are. But when the illusion shatters, when the company downsizes, when the industry shifts, when the unexpected happens, they are left with nothing but the realization that they were never truly secure to begin with. The only true security in life comes from within. It comes from confidence in your ability to adapt, from trust in your resilience, and from the knowledge that no matter what happens, you will find a way forward. It comes from developing skills that make you valuable, from building relationships that create opportunities, and from taking ownership of your future instead of leaving it in the hands of someone else. The world belongs to those who are willing to embrace uncertainty. Those who chase security will always find themselves at the mercy of forces beyond their control. But those who understand that security is an illusion will focus on what really matters: growth, adaptability, and the courage to take risks. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It does not appear suddenly like failure does. Instead, it creeps in slowly, settling in the mind and heart over time. While risk comes with uncertainty and the possibility of failure, it also comes with the chance of success, growth, and transformation. Regret, on the other hand, offers nothing but the pain of what could have been. It is the realization that you had the opportunity to try, to take the leap, to chase a dream, but you let fear hold you back. And once that moment is gone, you cannot get it back. The weight of risk is temporary. When you take a risk, you may face setbacks, you may encounter obstacles, you may even fail, but every risk, whether it leads to success or failure, comes with a lesson. It builds resilience, sharpens your skills, and gives you valuable experience. Even if you stumble, you grow stronger. Even if things don't go as planned, you gain something from the journey. But regret is different. Regret does not teach you, it does not make you better. It simply reminds you over and over again that you never even tried. People rarely regret the risks they took, even if they failed. They regret the ones they never took, the business idea they never pursued, the love they never fought for, the adventure they kept postponing until it was too late. Because once time has passed, once the doors have closed, once the opportunities have faded away, all that is left is wondering what might have been. And that wondering is far more painful than any failure could ever be. People avoid risk because they want to avoid discomfort, but they fail to realize that regret is the most uncomfortable feeling of all. It lingers in the mind, replaying missed chances and lost opportunities like an unwelcome movie that never stops playing. The human mind is wired to reflect, to analyze, and to seek meaning, and when it looks back and sees nothing but hesitation and avoidance, it suffers. It asks, why didn't I go for it? What was I so afraid of? The worst part is knowing that the only thing standing in the way was fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. And in the end, none of those fears mattered. Risk may be uncomfortable, but it leads to possibility, it leads to growth, it leads to moments that define who you are. Every great success story is built on moments of risk, on people who were willing to take a chance despite the fear. Meanwhile, every story of regret is built on hesitation, on playing it safe, on waiting for the perfect moment that never came. The truth is, the weight of risk is heavy for a moment, but the weight of regret lasts a lifetime. And given the choice, it is always better to carry the weight of trying than the weight of wondering what could have been. Playing it safe seems like the logical choice. It feels comfortable, predictable, and free of risk. No major losses, no devastating failures, no painful rejections, just a steady path with minimal resistance. But what most people don't realize is that playing it safe comes with a cost, and that cost is far greater than any temporary failure or setback. Playing it safe means settling for less than what you are capable of. It means watching others take the chances you were too afraid to take. It means waking up one day and realizing that the life you are living is not the one you once dreamed of. It's just the one you settled for. The cost of playing it safe isn't immediate. It doesn't come with a warning label. Instead, it sneaks up over time. It starts as small compromises, choosing the comfortable job instead of the challenging opportunity, staying in a familiar environment instead of seeking new growth, avoiding the difficult conversation instead of addressing it head on. These decisions feel harmless in the moment, but over the years they accumulate. One day you look around and realize that while you avoided failure, you also avoided success. While you protected yourself from discomfort, you also shielded yourself from growth. Success is never guaranteed, but neither is staying exactly where you are. The world moves forward whether you take action or not. Industries change, opportunities shift, and time does not wait. What felt secure today may not be secure tomorrow. The job you stayed in because it was safe could be gone in an instant. The dream you put off could become irrelevant before you ever get the chance to pursue it. The person you wanted to become could remain nothing more than a distant idea because you were too afraid to take the steps to make it real. Playing it safe also means limiting your own potential. Comfort does not challenge you. It does not stretch your abilities or force you to grow. It keeps you in the same routines, the same habits, the same way of thinking. Growth, on the other hand, requires discomfort. It requires risk. It demands that you step outside of what is easy and embrace what is uncertain. And while that may feel scary, it is the only path to greatness. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable did so because they were willing to take a chance. They were willing to fail, to stumble, to face rejection. And in doing so, they discovered what they were truly capable of. The biggest cost of playing it safe is regret. It's looking back on your life and realizing that you never truly tested your limits, never gave yourself the chance to see what was possible. The truth is, you will never know what could have been if you never try. While risk carries the possibility of failure, playing it safe carries the certainty of mediocrity. And in the end, the price of staying comfortable is far higher than the price of taking a chance on yourself. Confidence is not something you are born with, it is something you build. And the only way to build it is by taking risks. Confidence does not come from reading about success, thinking about success, or waiting until you feel ready. It comes from stepping into the unknown, taking action despite fear, and proving to yourself that you are capable. Every time you take a risk, whether it's speaking up, trying something new, or chasing a goal that intimidates you, you strengthen a part of yourself that can never be developed in comfort. Confidence is the reward for courage, and courage only grows when it is tested. The first risk is always the hardest. The mind races with doubt, searching for reasons to hesitate. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? These thoughts keep most people stuck, waiting for the moment when they feel confident enough to begin. But that moment never comes, because confidence does not come before action, it comes because of action. The moment you take a risk, something powerful happens. Even if you don't succeed right away, you realize that you survived. You handled the challenge, faced the discomfort, and learned something valuable. And with that realization, a small spark of confidence is born. Every time you push past fear and take a step forward, that spark grows. What once seemed terrifying becomes manageable. What once felt impossible starts to feel within reach. This is the process of building confidence. By doing, by trying, by proving to yourself, one risk at a time, that you are stronger than your doubts. Eventually, the things that once scared you become second nature. The job interview that once made your hands shake becomes just another conversation. The presentation that once felt overwhelming becomes an opportunity to share your ideas. The business idea you once doubted becomes the foundation of something incredible. The reason risk creates confidence is simple. It forces you to grow. When you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you learn new skills, develop new perspectives, and gain experiences that cannot be acquired by playing it safe. You realize that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone. You stop seeing setbacks as proof of your limitations and start seeing them as proof of your effort. And most importantly, you start believing in yourself, not because someone else told you to, but because you have tested your own strength and seen what you are capable of. People who avoid risk never develop this kind of confidence. They stay in their comfort zones, playing it safe, never truly challenging themselves. As a result, they never build the inner belief that they can handle uncertainty. But those who take risks, who put themselves in situations where they have to rise to the occasion, develop an unshakable confidence. Not because they never failed, but because they know failure will not break them. They have proven to themselves that no matter what happens, they have the ability to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving forward. Life is a series of choices, and every choice has a cost. The question is never whether you will pay a price, but which price you are willing to pay. The price of risk or the price of regret. Risk comes with uncertainty, with the possibility of failure, with the fear of stepping into the unknown. But regret comes with something far worse, the certainty that you never even tried. And when the moment is past, when the opportunity is gone, regret is a debt you can never repay. People often think avoiding risk keeps them safe, but in reality it keeps them stuck. It keeps them in jobs they don't love, relationships that don't fulfill them, and routines that don't inspire them. They tell themselves, now isn't the right time, or what if it doesn't work out? But the real question they should be asking is, what if I never try? Because 5, 10, or 20 years from now, they won't be thinking about the times they failed. They'll be thinking about the times they didn't even give themselves the chance to succeed. Regret is not something that happens all at once. It happens gradually. It starts as hesitation, as self-doubt, as the little excuses that seem harmless in the moment. But over time, those small moments of playing it safe add up. One day, you look back and realize that the life you are living is not the one you wanted, it's just the one you settled for. The dreams you once had, the goals you once believed in, have faded into distant memories. Not because you weren't capable, but because you weren't willing to take the risk. Risk, on the other hand, comes with something that regret never does. Possibility, the possibility of growth, of learning, of discovering what you are truly capable of. When you take a risk, you may fail, but you may also succeed. You may stumble, but you may also rise. And no matter the outcome, you gain something that regret can never give you: experience, wisdom, and the knowledge that you had the courage to take a chance on yourself. The most successful people in the world are not those who played it safe. They are the ones who embraced risk. They understood that failure is temporary, but regret lasts forever. They were willing to step forward when others hesitated, to try when others made excuses, to believe in their dreams when others let theirs die. And because they were willing to risk failure, they also gave themselves the chance to achieve greatness. If you are faced with a choice between risk and regret, choose risk. Every time. Choose to take the chance to step into the unknown, to bet on yourself even when the outcome is uncertain, because the pain of failing is nothing compared to the pain of wondering what could have been. In the end, you will never regret trying and failing, but you will always regret not trying at all. So when the moment comes, and it will, when you have to decide between taking the risk or playing it safe, remind yourself of this: the greatest pain in life is not failure, but regret. You can recover from failure. You can learn from mistakes. You can rebuild, restart, and grow stronger, but you can never go back and reclaim the chances you never took. So step forward, take the leap, bet on yourself, not because success is guaranteed, but because regret is. Not because the path will be easy, but because staying where you are will cost you far more. The future belongs to those who dare, not those who wait. And in the end, the only way to know what's truly possible for you is to go for it, fully, fearlessly, and without hesitation. Choose risk over regret every time.